Bison Deal, or formerly known as Brian Williams, was a former NBA player who played from 1991 all the way until 1999. He was a great player. He won a championship with the Bulls in '96, and he was putting up good numbers after he was given a starting position. But his career was cut short after he mysteriously disappeared. What is going on, everybody? It is Handles, and mainly because of me, it doesn't look like we can hit the goal of 50,000 subscribers by the end of this month, since before my last video, I didn't even upload for 9 days due to my vacation. But some way, somehow, let's try to get the remaining 3,500 subscribers in the next 3 days so we can hit our goal. It's going to be hard, but I think we can do it. So if you're not subscribed yet, why? You're missing all of these amazing videos. But anyways, in today's video, we are going to go through the dark story of a former NBA player, Bison Deal. So Bison, or originally Brian, was the second son of his parents. So he had an older brother. As Brian grew up, he was more interested in track rather than basketball, but he received a growth spurt in high school which pushed him towards basketball. So fast forward a little bit and he was drafted to the NBA in 1991 by the Orlando Magic. He played out his career, then won a championship with the Bulls in '96 as a key backup center. After he won his ring, he decided to play for the Detroit Pistons, where he received a starting role and good minutes. And before we get any further into the story, while Brian was with the Pistons, he had changed his name from Brian Williams to Bison Deal. So from now on, I'll only refer to him as Bison. But Bison's agent was saying how Bison had a lot of family problems, mostly involving money. His agent would say Bison's parents would always ask for money and basically rely on him to make the family stable. But the person who was giving Bison the most trouble was his older brother, Miles. His brother would constantly ask him for money and always approach Bison with all these get-rich schemes, to which Miles would ask Bison for startup money, but the scheme would end up always failing. And at this point, it is 1999, and Bison felt as if he had made enough money in the NBA and decided to retire instead of accepting a 5-year, $34 million contract that he could have signed. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think I could ever pass up that kind of money, especially with the fact that Bison was only 30 years old when he retired. He still had a lot left in him, but reports were coming out that he was growing tired of basketball and had wanted to leave it for a while. But later, it was revealed that a main reason for Bison leaving basketball was because he had met a girl early in his career, and he never really got the chance to settle down with her or really even meet her. So after the 1999 NBA season, he wanted to spend time with her and get to know her and ultimately be with her. Her name was Serena Carlin. So Bison bought a boat for him and Serena to sail across the 7 seas, spending time together. They had many successful trips, and their next trip was to sail to Tahiti, but Bison's older brother had wanted to take along. And of course, being how they're brothers, Bison welcomed Miles on his and Serena's next trip to Tahiti. So they went off sailing, and it was around a 14-day trip, and it was just Miles, Bison, Serena, and the captain on board. But when the boat arrived to Tahiti, only one person was on board. That was Bison's older brother, Miles. Bison, Serena, and the captain were nowhere to be seen. So weeks went by, and family members of both Bison and Serena were starting to get worried. Since before this, both Bison and Serena had always kept regular contact with them. So both families had filed a missing persons report, and after the police did a little investigation, what they found was pretty shocking. On Bison's bank statement was a check for $152,000 to buy gold coins. Obviously, the police did some investigating on that, and they told Bison's agent about the situation. So Bison's agent called the phone number that was written on the check, and to his surprise, it wasn't Bison who picked up, it was his brother, Miles. So the police arrested Miles for fraud, and when they were questioning him, he pretty much gave them nothing. All he said was that Bison and Serena were in trouble and he was getting the gold coins to free them. With no hard evidence against Miles, they let him go, but kept a close eye on him. So Miles wanted to flee the country, so he had his girlfriend get him across the Mexican border. But at the same time, authorities had found Bison's boat with bullet holes in it. At this point, obviously they have evidence against Miles, so they had to arrest him. And they found Miles in a hotel in Mexico and arrested him. Miles explained his side of the story, saying him and his brother got into a fight and Bison accidentally hit Serena, who was trying to break up the fight. And when Bison hit her, she fell and she hit her head and died. Miles then said the captain wanted to report her death, but Bison wouldn't let him, so Bison killed the captain. Then Miles grabbed a handgun and shot and killed Bison because he was scared of what he might have done to him. Then Miles had said he attached weights to each of their bodies and dumped them all somewhere in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. So Miles knew he was ultimately screwed either way, so he called his mom telling her that he would never hurt his little brother. Then he committed suicide by overdosing on insulin. After Miles' suicide, nothing really could be done about the case, so it was closed forever. In the end, the story of what happened on the boat was entirely Miles' side of the story. Whether his story was all facts or not, we'll probably never know what really happened on that boat. And because their bodies were dumped into the middle of the Pacific Ocean, it's basically impossible to ever actually recover their bodies. Anyways guys, that was it for the story. Bison Deal was a great basketball player. It's sad that his life had to be cut short. He might have even made a comeback to the NBA if this never happened. And I know this video was a little dark, but I promise it won't be like that the next video. But again, let's try to somehow hit the 50,000 subscriber mark by the end of this month. Anyways, as always, till next time, I'm Handles, and I'm out.